Hey guys, Philip with Channer Consulting here. And this recording of our monthly coffee chat webinar is all about getting your business found online. I mean, how significant is it for your business to show up when someone searches on Google? Don't know the answer? Watch now to find out. As we shared, today's coffee chat is all about getting found online. And so what I wanted to go over today is kind of a quick presentation. It's going to consist of some stats, some good information on and evidence on why it's so important to get found online and the different ways you can get found online. And then it's also going to start touching on different parts of it, like local SEO, as well as business listing optimizations. And so hopefully you get some good content here and some suggestions and ideas to work on afterwards for your business. So we're going to start with the current landscape, the current digital landscape. And this is going to touch on some statistics about how people are searching and where they're searching. And so right now, today, 92% of global web traffic comes from search engines. That means rather than just, the website you want to go to directly, it's people searching for something. They're still looking for the right source or the right information they need. And so it's not direct people, it's search engine, searching for topics, searching for clients, searching for customers, searching for restaurants, that kind of stuff. And if you weren't aware of it, here's some information to share. Google dominates the search market right now. Out of all the search platforms available, Google takes over 90% of the market share, meaning Google is the platform people are turning to when they want to find information. Bing comes in a very, very, very far second place at 2.29%, and then Yahoo is the next one to mention. It's only 1.52%. So you can see there's a big gap between where people value the search content they're finding. And so what that says to me is if you want your business to be found, we need to make sure that Google is finding your business. Some more stats. A lot of this in the beginning, again, is stats. 2019, pre-COVID time, we had about 3.5 billion daily global searches on Google. That's already a lot. Once COVID hit and people were home and doing a lot more soul searching, it went up a lot by 5.5 billion, and that's probably gone up even more still. And with all that information, though, only 27% is from the US. So there's a lot of global people using Google, not just Americans. And that's good news for businesses that offer services that, cross our nation's boundaries. If you're able to do work in other countries, then that means other countries are able to find you because they're using Google as well. And 46% of the Google searches are local. So what that means is people are looking for something in their local area, not just anywhere. So if you aren't just nationwide or worldwide and you are looking for some people who are willing and able to work locally, you have your pool of people looking for you from here. And so what we want to do is make sure, in order to be found, we need a strong digital foundation. And what that means is making sure that you, your business, your services are being able to be found online. And how we do that is we start with our website. We picture your website as your digital storefront. When people walk through, if you have a brick and mortar organization, when people walk through your doors, I think if you have a lobby or that first area, you really want to wow the customer as they walk in, and you want that nice presence to make them to feel welcome. And you picture your landing page, your home page is that same type of wow factor. You want something that's very clean. You want something that's presentable and it's welcoming, and it represents the brand identity you want to establish for your industry and for your business. One thing we want to make sure it does have is responsiveness. And if you're not familiar with what responsive design is, that means if you design your website, 9 times out of 10, when you're designing a website and laying it out, you're on your computer and you're looking how it looks like on your computer. But if your website template isn't able to translate cleanly to a mobile device, then you're missing out. Google really prefers and during search results presents businesses who have a nice and clean, friendly mobile version of their website. And so many designs like WordPress, Wix, Squarespace, if you're using any of those popular platforms to design your website, typically now they come with a responsive design. So you don't have to worry about it. You just have to do it once, and then it already automatically responds the website for you. You also want to make sure that the content on your website is not only searchable on mobile devices and on computers, but also voice search optimized. And what that means is, I'm sure you've seen it, or you may be using it yourself, is you grab your phone or you talk to that little box in the corner of your room, say, hey, Google, do this for me, or hey, Alexa, find this. You want to make sure that your business is optimized to be able to be responsive to people who are searching for your content, your services, for your business, voice by voice search. And then the last part for your website is legal and compliant. And what that basically means is you're disclaiming declaring and displaying any disclaimers and any policies that you have. If you have like a newsletter sign up, you're making sure people understand that when they fill out a certain form that they are getting emails, and also making sure that your website is accessible for people who may have visual or hearing impairment, that would make certain colors uncomfortable, or things hard to see, or you can't read it or can't hear it. So you want to make sure you have some different plugins and services in place to make sure that anybody who uses your site can enjoy it. So let's go to search engine optimization, because that's one of the first things people usually hear about and know about, SEO. And so search engine optimization, if you're not familiar with that, that's making sure that the search engines, that your website and the content on your website is optimized so that when the search engines are requested for information, that they find that information. So let's say you offer a dog washing service. You should have content on your page that clearly defines that you do dog washing. So when somebody searches for that, the search engine will find your website. And so ways that people do that is keywords, doing some research on the exact key phrases that people are using when they're searching for your services. And strategically placing those keywords, not just putting them in one spot, but really integrating them into the content of the page, into the site architect, into different maybe ads that you're using to make sure that the website is connected with the content you want it to be with. And then there's also link building. What that means basically, a goal is to have other people linking to your content from different sources. And so to go again with my example of dog washing, if there is a local pet store that supplies pet foods and stuff like that, you want to build a relationship with that store to say, hey, you don't offer dog grooming, I do, I would love to for your customers to know about me. And so we could have a link on their website that goes to your website. That's essentially what a backlink is. There's so many different ways that you can collaborate and get different backlinks. And so being part of the only Chamber of Commerce, your profile on their website is a backlink that leads to you. So again, any link that leads somebody from one site to your site is a backlink, and the more the better. And then you also want to make sure you're targeting the right audience. I'm sure you've heard of buyer personas and understanding your audience and targeting them. That really helps when your content on your website is speaking directly to a specific audience. When they get there, they know, hey, this message is for me, they feel welcomed. And also understanding their search intent. And that search intent means basically the intent of the user when they're doing a search. And so there's a couple ways to use search engines, but the most common ways are if you're searching for just information on the topic. That's more of, I have a question, give me some answers. The other way is, I'm looking to make a purchase right now. That the intents on those two different people are very different. And so you want to optimize your site to kind of meet both of those needs by providing different pages that have direct, here you can buy right now, or here's some more information. Looks like you're still researching. So building those and preparing for those and understanding where that user is on their buyer's journey. Again, are they still researching or they're ready to purchase? And then here's the most important part for me, I feel like, is local SEO, because so much search is being done for local content. 90% of consumers are searching online for a local business. 54% of those search at least once for a business. And then 75% of those don't. When you search, especially on Google, you get the first page of results. And then there's usually like hundreds of pages after that. But the quality of the content that is mentioned goes down each layer. And so the goal, of course, is to be on that first page, because many people don't make it past that first list. Some more facts about that is 70% of people visit a store. So if they search for a certain service, they find a store. 70% of those people actually go and visit that store based on that search. And 28% of those result in actually a purchase made when they get there. And so it's really important to make sure that your business is showing up if you have a brick and mortar store and you want people to find you. 61% of those will contact the business if the site's mobile friendly. So again, going back to that responsive website, making sure that your content is being able to be read. It's not super tiny or anything like that when they look on a mobile device, because more and more people are using their phones for more of their regular business and searching stuff. Now, here's some more local search stats, is the term near me. That term near me has increased in popularity. 84% of near me searches basically are happening on mobile devices. And a lot of those are resulting, again, in people getting to the stores. And then an interesting fact is 33% of those mobile searches happen right before they made the visit. So if you process that, that means people are typically on their phone, in their car, trying to find something. So example I say is like, you're with your family, you just went somewhere, you want to, you're on your way home, and your kid asks in the back, can we go get some ice cream? But you don't know.
Drop this off. Yeah, she was like trying to explain it.
Local store right where you are. So people are starting to pick up their phone and say, hey, Google, find a ice cream store near me, because they want something right where they are. And so a lot of those searches, more and more of people are using that type of search phrase to find something right near them. And so that's key, again, especially if you have a brick and mortar store that offers stuff. What is that? Where's that coming from? Let me turn that off. There we go. And so 80% of local mobile searches lead to purchase within a day. So when people are using their phones and searching locally, that means in their buyer's journey, they've made it pretty far in the process and they're actually ready to make a purchase. And so again, that's even more evidence that's like, you want to be sure that you're one of those companies that are showing up first. I wanted to go more into voice search, because that is, again, increasing in popularity. More and more people are doing it, but it's not something to... Don't assume because you have the website and maybe you have the Google My Business listing that it's automatically optimized for voice search. If you think about it, I won't go into these stats, you can see those, but the most important one I wanted to mention is that last point, voice search optimization versus SEO. It's more conversational versus answers to questions. So like on Google, if you're on your computer and you're typing a search, many times the terms that we used is more robotic. It's more like you would do something similar to, again, go back to the ice cream store. Let's say ice cream store near me is kind of what somebody would put in. But when they pick up their phone and they are speaking, or they're speaking to Alexa, the way they phrase it is more of a conversation, like they're talking to a person. Hey, Alexa, can you find me an ice cream store near me? That's a whole different way of searching and how the algorithm and the system is processing that data. So people, when they do a voice search, you have to be optimized to think, okay, how would somebody actually speak this question to me, not just type it? So that's the major difference, and why you should be aware of voice search, and why you shouldn't just assume it's just automatically happening in the background. It's a little bit more work to put in, but it can be done. And then if I haven't stressed the importance of local SEO, just a couple more information. It's really really critical to optimize your online presence for local, because it's happening so much more. Local SEO features, including those business listings like Google My Business, a Yelp listing, stuff like that. Also, any type of map. So Google My Business is connected to Google Maps, but they are two separate things. So Google Maps, you want to make sure that your business is listed there as well. Many times when you do create a Google My Listing business for your business and you put in your address, it does push that information over to Google Maps. But if you're an older company and you haven't gotten to Google My Business in a while, it may not have been pushed over. So you always want to just check that to make sure. And you can check that by doing a Google search for your business and making sure that map does show up. If you see, sometimes when you search for a business and you see on the right side of the screen that little company card, you'll sometimes, will have like maybe an image, it'll have like a business summary, they'll have the website and any reviews that the business may have on Google. If you don't see the map on that page, that means that business hasn't connected their address on Google Maps to their business listing. So we want to make sure that happens. And it also focuses on reputation management, which basically translates to reviews. Are you getting reviews and responding to reviews? And so business listing optimization is one of the easiest things to start with and get things running if you don't feel confident over the position your business is in right now. And so creating creating or claiming a business listing, again, it's pretty easy. You can just do a search and see where your listing shows up. If you haven't manually created any of these, it's possible that sometimes based on information that's out there, so maybe you have been in operation, you just haven't had the time to create your listing yet, because of either reviews or conversations that are happening or other different government addresses, databases that are generated, your business may actually have like a temporary listing. So in those cases, there's probably a process for you to click a button and say claim this business, and you just have to prove who you are, that you do own the business, and then you can go in and start updating the content. I list here a few of those that I feel like should be key to make sure your business is on for sure. Of course, Google My Business, Bing, Yelp, and Yahoo. Those seem to be the most prominent search engines out there, or business listing platforms out there where people get the most effect. Others to consider are also the Better Business Bureau, Angie's List, Merchant Circle. There's a lot of options out there. Some of them are paid, some of them are free, some of them have a free version with add-ons that are paid. And so it all depends on the benefits of your business. I always say, try a few of them. If they don't generate a lot of leads for you or customers, then maybe the next year that's one that you drop. Maybe that's not a platform where your audience is using to find business. And the information you want to include on these business listings is sometimes seems obvious, but I'm going to make sure I go over this list just in case there's stuff you didn't think about. Your business name, of course, your hours, locations, if you have more than one location. Sometimes people want to put their ownership or leadership, especially small businesses. A lot of times the people who are your customers are people you went to high school with. So this, for so many people seeing, oh, I know that person personally, you're more apt to work with that person because you already have a ongoing relationship with them. So sometimes listing your business owners and some of the leadership is a good thing in these listings. Social networks, if you already have social media accounts, go ahead and list those. People value companies who have a social media presence because a social media presence gives businesses or customers the opportunity to interact with and engage with business leaders and brands. And so if you have social networks, it's good to put that there so people know. And of course, it's always good to include images and videos and keep those updated. People like it, many people are visual, and being able to see your product or services in action, it's can be a game changer for some people. And then if you are ever offering a special, have a special offering, maybe you're on Yelp and you say, hey, if you found me on Yelp, mention, this listing and you'll get 10% off. So that's always there. Or if you have just seasonal offerings, to go on and update those and have them listed as well. And the benefits for creating online listings, of course, again, additional exposure. When somebody searches on Google for a business, you want to make sure your website, of course, is the first thing that people see. But having all these other listings show up for all these other business listings is really going to help, again, build that credibility, build that reputation, and kind of represent that you are a reputable company and somebody to work with. You're not just a fly-by-night company that's just doesn't really have a presence. You also get to meet the customers where they are. What I mean by that is, if you're just on Google My Business, you have a high chance of being found because people are using Google, and Google My Business is the biggest generating for business leads. However, if there are customers who prefer Yelp or prefer Yahoo, being on these platforms, you're able to meet them where they are and be sure to connect with them there. So that way you're not getting missed. And then, of course, the online reviews. Everybody loves to see, learn from other people's experiences, how they felt about you before they, take the step to work with you. So it's always good to get online reviews and have them listed on Google, on Facebook, wherever you have. So that's a good benefit. One thing I usually don't like to do during our coffee chats, but I figured I would mention it today, is I do have a service that is part of my services I offer. It's called Advice Local, and they do just this: is help businesses create their social media, not social media, but their business listings. And the benefits of this program is it allows you to input your business information, like all that stuff I just listed, the name, the hours, and all that good stuff. You only input it once, and then the system creates the profiles for you on all the major platforms, as well as there's I think right now the list is up to 36 other different business listing options. And so it gives you the opportunity to be listed in multiple locations. And as you continue, if you have an ongoing, you keep the ongoing service with them. Anytime you make an update, let's say you change hours, you still, same thing, you only have to update it once, and it's reflected on every single website. You don't have to go to each listing and update them individually. And also it gives us options to voice optimization search features. They have the programs for all of these different listings to be able to optimize your key terms and key phrases so that when people are searching using voice, they're able to find. And then there's also, if you're familiar with Google My Business, you have a Google My Business account and you're on there often looking at maybe the analytics, where are people coming from, how much traffic you're getting. Great thing to do. I suggest you do that often. This platform actually gives even more enhanced Google My Business reports. And so if you are into that and you like to know more details about your search results with people using Google My Business, this is a good platform to try. So if you do want more information about that, I would love to give that to you. Just email me and we can chat about that directly. And I am going to start questions and answers, but before I do, I have to head out. So my friend Lyric here will help chime in and answer questions. I did want to mention next month is our next coffee chat. It's the last Thursday of the month again, June 24th, same time, 12:30. This time we're going to have a special guest speaker. I'm very excited for that. She is a local business owner, and she really focuses on really helping people with business planning, business structure, business goals. And so she has a presentation for us on understanding what a smart business goal is and how to implement it and see it through. As we know, New Year's resolutions, goals are sometimes fun to start, but hard to really see through the long haul. So that is her specialty, and I'm excited to have her here. So